Namaste everyone. Sorry for the delay. Hope everything is okay. I'm recording this. Um, so I'm just trying to propose a slightly different method from now onwards. Um, Due to some personal issues, I have reduced time. My mother just came from the hospital, and a lot of management has to be done at home. Change of life, right? So what I propose is every weekend, hopefully every weekend, we keep with one topic. That is, this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, we will have Upanishad lectures, and next weekend, 2 days, both days, Saturday and Sunday, we will have Bhagavad Gītā lectures. So we alternate between these two. That works better for me because it's very hard for me to prepare two different topics because I have to reorient myself. And you also will like it in a way because today's topic and tomorrow's topic are very closely connected. So we can do some more justice in the same framework of mind and thought process, and we can understand better. That's my suggestion to you all. I was trying to send a poll. I don't know why in Telegram I'm unable to send a poll. I'll see if I can send a poll to get feedback from all of you separately. Okay. Now we'll start with today's lectures. I'm sharing my PowerPoint in a minute. Just a second. Can you hear me and see the slide, the beginning slide? I'm starting from Kena Upaniṣad, lecture 25.
Yes, 25.
Very good. Thank you. See, I'm going to take a different view from even the study of Viśiṣṭādvaita view. The reason is fundamentally, if you look at it, well, Viśiṣṭādvaita view is presented very well by Rāmānujācārya, and his lecture, his Bhāṣya is the only way to go. And another view which I was introduced to a very long time back was through my grandfather. My grandfather studied and practiced yoga for a long time. And he understands it that there is a yoga connectivity between Gita, Bhagavad Gītā, Upaniṣads, and Brahma Sutras, and that has to be understood. To understand that connectivity, we have to look at the whole thing with a different perspective. And that perspective is not easily explicable unless we take the route he takes you into. And I was lucky, I just got that route a long time back. See, every person has orientation, right? We are human beings. When we are little, we are spread with spoon and things like that. So we come with a particular orientation. And I had ignored my orientation for a very, very long time, maybe 40, 45 years. But when I studied, I in fact ignored and say, whatever he said, whatever I learned from my grandfather, that's fine. Let me learn other things. Let me go into all other views, try to understand different things. But when I come back, I feel that what kind of steps he had taken and given me when I was 19 years old seemed very logical, very rational, very unassuming, and no dogma need to be followed. Oh, just listen to me because I'm telling you this kind of a thing. There's nothing like that. So I found it very scientific. My own personally, it was very satisfying. That's why I'm coming back to look at his views after 45 years roughly. And I found his books, his manuscript, by the way, handwritten manuscript, and trying to figure out what he told me and how things fall into place. Okay? With this introduction, let me go further. Any thoughts at this point? Any feedback? Any questions about this approach?
I've read in books like, what we learn in very young age matters a lot, even in spirituality. And then it is very, very difficult to change after a while. You can try hard, but it is not going to happen. They have conducted studies like this. The people who are atheists, their family is atheist, and then when they are 5 years old, when they grow up in the family, and they can get, like they start believing in God and things like that, it doesn't work for them. The reverse is true also, it seems.
Wow, interesting. So in one way, it is very difficult to get rid of our samskaras, right?
Yes. When you were telling your story, that study only came to my mind,
In Tamil, we have that saying, Anjila padinjadu, ambatanjila padiyadu.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah. So excellent then. We'll take this, I found it also, see, in whatever way I have tried to understand different other systems like Advaita and several things, right? The yogic method appeals to me a lot personally. Unfortunately, you're stuck with my own background. Okay. Now, what my grandfather used to say is the study of the Vedas, particularly the Upanishads, in a particular order is very important. And this order was not invented by my grandfather. It was even Śaṅkarācārya followed the order roughly. Śaṅkarācārya also sort of accepted without explicitly probably mentioning a study like this, study like that, or something like that. It was Isha. See, I'm also looking at where these Upanishads are, right? The Vedas themselves are separated into Rig Veda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, and Atharva Veda. In these Vedas, if you only take the 10 Upanishads, the main 10 Upanishads, Aitareya belongs to Rig Veda, and in Yajurveda it is broken into two parts, Kṛṣṇa Yajurveda and Shukla Yajurveda, and Katha Taittiriya belong to Kṛṣṇa Yajurveda. Interesting. And in Isha and Brihadaranyaka belong to Shukla Yajurveda. And from Samaveda comes two major Upanishads, that is Kena and Chandogya. From Atharva comes three of them, Prashna, Mundaka, Mandukya. So this is how the 10 Upanishads are separated out, where they belong in the tree of the Vedas. Right. So the way the tradition says is, Isha, we have already discussed why should we follow this method and all this. We have already discussed that on the internet, on the Telegram channel. But what my grandfather strongly believed is this: there is a development of subjects between Isha and Kena, and that again goes further development to Kata, and then Isha, Kena, Kata, Prashna, Mundaka, Mandukya, then Taittiriya, then Aitareya, then Chandogya, and Brihadaranyaka. So this method have to be followed according to him. And when I was studying, it was not clear to me when I studied Ishavasya Upanishad in depth. But it became very clear to me when I studied Kena how he connected Isha with Kena so powerfully. And then obviously he's going to do the same thing when I pick up Kena to Kata. Hopefully I can find his manuscripts. And so eventually I would like to follow that thought process. And this thought process is also helpful to understand Rāmanuja Bhāṣya, which he sort of follows, but he gives preference to the yogic methodology. That's the unique difference. In a way, I should say, in a particular way, that's his originality. It's almost his original contribution to the literature. Any questions on this slide? Everything okay? I guess so. So, question comes up as why study Sampatanga's? Sampathanga is the name of my grandfather's brother. Okay, so why study Sampatanga's view on Kena? So he offers a new view based on yoga. He has interpreted in light of the yogic experiences of the Āḻvāras, particularly Nammāḻvār, the meaning of Ishavasya Upanishad, and also the following closely the Vedanta Deshika's commentary on the Ishavasya Upanishad, and then extended it to other Upanishads. That's his special contribution. And what he states in his introduction on to Kena is, I'm actually summarizing his introduction. See, he wrote a book in manuscripts, a manuscript. It's about 80, 90 pages. And then I don't even know if you put it in, I haven't OCR'd it and put it in one particular text. I'm working on it, editing it and things like that. So within about, in English, 80, 90 pages, he summarizes the entire thought process of Kena Upanishad. And he connects it to Ishavasya Upanishad. And that is very helpful for all of us to understand the ideology and justification and thought process of the entire Viśiṣṭādvaita type of thinking. And it also throws light on other parallel approaches. And see, right now we will not be able to do reconciliation at this point. We are completely trying to understand each Acharya's view. So obviously in this process, every Acharya we study will question any other approach thoroughly. Let's try to understand their questions. Don't get, this guy is now being partial to some particular system he's close to and all those things. What you can think what you want. But we will honestly try to understand why some Acharya did not like some other approach. Why other Acharya did not like this person's approach. We will equally try to distribute our study as much as possible. And you can definitely assume that I cannot get rid of my vasanas and samskaras just like our friend just now told us. Okay? Okay, here. Nammāḻvār was prior to Śaṅkarācārya and is practically the pioneer leader, thought giver of the Viśiṣṭādvaita school of philosophy, of Vedanta. Even prior to Nāthamuni, Nāthamuni is one of the, probably the first Acharya in the Viśiṣṭādvaita lineage. And Nāthamuni directly had a vision of Nammāḻvār, who in his own yogic, he was a yogi. Nāthamuni was a yogi. In his vision, he had got the teaching of Nammāḻvār. Then Āḻvāras was grandson of Nāthamuni, and Āḻvāras was sort of a guru of Rāmānujācārya, even though he did not study systematically under him. That's what I understand. So Rāmānujācārya is assumed to be the person who established the Viśiṣṭādvaita school of philosophy, because he did it in a logical manner. Obviously, he got the thoughts from the original thinker, Nammāḻvār, who experienced everything and who also belonged to not even the four varnas, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Varna. He did not belong to. He was the fifth varna. But he is considered the highest philosophical authority in the Viśiṣṭādvaita school of philosophy, even higher than all other acharyas, because everyone pays utter reverence and devotion to his words. And Nāthamuni would have got all his, pretty much a lot of information from Nammāḻvār's teachings, which is in Tamil, by the way. And then Nāthamuni was a Sanskrit scholar. And then he slowly, in his lineage, Āḻvāras picked up, and the Siddhitraya was authored by Āڵvāras. Rāmānujācārya expanded everything into Sri Bhāṣya and other Vedanta Granthas. So Rāmānujācārya logically established the school of thought, but the original founder is Nammāḻvār. And that is why in Tamil he is known as Prapanna Jana Kūtastha, the leader among all the surrendered people. That's what they say. Now, I'm actually summarizing the book of my grandfather, actually. If we can do it in a few classes, you will get the theoretical principles and ideologies. Oops, what is happening? Okay. See, there is no offense to other schools of thought like Advaita, Advaita. As we know, when we study each school, we will not sugarcoat anything. If we study Dvaita, if he attacks any other school, we will just accept the way he attacks and try to understand why he attacks. This is an impartial understanding of three schools of thought right now. Eventually, this may lead to Samanvaya, right? Samanvaya is reconciliation. But right now, we are not interested in Samanvaya. Okay. Some of you may not like this approach. I mean, in fact, yesterday somebody came and asked me, can you only teach me Ramanuja school of thought? I said, ask somebody else. There are a lot of other teachers who are teaching that. I am going to do only this school. I cannot, simply cannot do many things at the same time. And I have already made this clear. Our methodology is this. We will examine the criticisms of every school of thought on other schools and take it further. So here, Sampath Iyengar's, that is my grandfather's view, what he is saying is, look, Advaita is accepted worldwide. Acceptance, almost everybody accepts Advaita. Intrinsically, there's so many people who accept Advaita of Śaṅkarācārya, right? Have you questioned Śaṅkara Bhāṣya thoroughly, is what he is asking. Okay, obviously, he might, he bases his own knowledge based on the prior acharyas. Obviously, he studied under several people, right? He's also an independent thinker. He did a lot of yoga in his life, maybe 50 years. So he has thought it thoroughly. So he's asked a fundamental question in the 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gītā. Look, I'm actually quoting the original Sanskrit of the Bhagavad Gītā shlokas from the 12th chapter, right? First, let us understand what does this 12th chapter say. Some people may have forgotten. I'm just reviewing it. Arjuna vacha. Evam satata yukta ye bhaktāstvam paryupāsate echāp yakṣaram objektam tesham ke yoga vittamaha. Here, Arjuna is asking a question at the beginning of 12th chapter. What happens at the end of 11th chapter? What really happens in the end of 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gītā? Anybody? Anybody? Wake up call. Please answer. You're not able to hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. So don't be silent. I'm asking you to answer. What happens in the end of 11th chapter? This is surprising. What is 11th chapter about in the Bhagavad Gītā? Wow.
Vishwarupam.
Vishwarupa. What is Vishwarupa? That means the universal form was shown to Arjuna, right? Kṛṣṇa showed his
Infinite
beyond human.
cosmic form. Infinite cosmic form he shows.
Yeah, cosmic form he showed to Arjuna. So then, now the immediate question after the 12th chapter is given here in this, and let me share this again. Arjuna vacha, evam satatayukta ye bhaktāstvam paryupāsate. Look, there are devotees, bhaktas, who are trying continuously Continuously they're trying and they're worshipping you, O Lord, who had the Vishwarupa form. In fact, at the end of the Vishwarupa form, when he saw, he becomes confused. The n-dimensional form of cosmic form of Kṛṣṇa, he was unable to take. He was totally confused. He said, withdraw your form and show me your tena your rupena chaturbhujena. Show me your original form of 4 hands, which I am used to. Sahasra baho bhava vishwamurte. You show me the two-handed form, 4-handed form. Then Kṛṣṇa comes back to the four-handed form. And then now Arjuna asks this question. Look, people continuously worship your form. Ejapi aksharam avyaktam. Or some people, on the other hand, worship your immutable akshara, that is that which does not change. Avyaktam, unmanifest. Among these, who are the better ones? Teshamke yogavittamaha. Among these two groups of devotees, aspirants, who are better? Who is better? Which group is better? That is the question. Sri Bhagavan Vacha. Kṛṣṇa says, Maya aveshya mano yemam nityayukta upasate shraddhaya parayopetaha teme yuktoptamo mataha. He immediately answers in one shot. Whoever focuses on me, focuses their mind on me, it nityayuktaha, daily they are worshipping, shraddhaya paraya, with utmost faith. Why is here the utmost faith? Probably they are so knowledgeable they can even see Kṛṣṇa directly. So the faith becomes natural. It is not based on some third-party knowledge. Shraddhaya parayopetaha te me yuktatamo mataha. They are the highest type of, they are highest among these two. That is the way Kṛṣṇa answers here. Okay, just a little bit messed up here. Can you see the slide? There's something. Let me just change it. Hold on a second. Stop share. Just a second, please. Let me. There's a little bit of problem there in this here. Oh, that should work. Can you see now? Probably not.
We can't see anything.
Okay, I'll let me share again. Now you can see, right?
Yeah.
You can see, right? Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
We are able to see, and then it is much clear. Yeah.
Okay. Ye tvakshara manirdesyam avyaktam paryupasate sarvatrakam achintyam cha kutastham achalam dhruvam. That is the 12.3. On the other hand, who focus on the akshara or the immutable, which is unmanifest, whoever worships that form, sarvatrakam, that is an all-pervading form, achintyam cha, it's beyond thought. Kutastham, which is solid and unshakable. Achalam, it's also unshakable. Kutastha means it is beyond, it is at a particular, it is untouchable state. Kute tishtati. Achalam dhruvam, it is constant and unshakable. Sanniyamya indriyagramam, after controlling their senses. Sarvatra samabuddhayaha, with equanimity everywhere. Equanimity to every aspect of life and everyone. Te prapnuvanti mameva, they attain me only. Sarvabhuta hiterataha, they don't discriminate among anyone. They are well-wishers of everyone, every being in this universe. Klesho adhikatarastesham. The difficulty is the high for them. Kreshaha adhikatarastesham. the method of worship is hard for them. Avyaktasakta chetasam, because they are focusing on the unmanifest. It's easier to focus on manifest, but it is difficult to focus on unmanifest. Avyaktahi gatihi dukkam dehavadbhiravapyate. So the thing is, the unmanifest meditation is very hard for people who have deha or dehavadbhiravapyate, who have any body. It's very difficult for people. See, is the understanding of Śaṅkarācārya supported by the Upanishads? Is the question asked by in my grandfather's book. Okay, this is the general thought of many other acharyas have asked the same question in the Viśiṣṭādvaita philosophy. So it's nothing specific to what my grandfather said here. So what the idea here is, Śaṅkarācārya, the way he understands it is, look, even though here the choice is not between Akṣara-Upāsaka and Bhakta. See, Akṣara-Upāsaka is this person, second one. The Bhakta is the first person. The choice is not here at all. The Akṣara-Upāsaka is the highest according to Advaita. So that is not even considered in this question. If you give out the Akṣara-Upāsaka, leave the Akṣara-Upāsaka, among the rest, who is the highest? Is his way of understanding. Here, the original text doesn't, if you look at the next verse, that is the 12.3, Kṛṣṇa himself says that it is difficult to do the second one. That is, the unmanifest meditation is difficult. All these things are clear. And even immediately, he has also said that immediate answer is whoever works on the form is higher, superior. Maya Vesha Mano Yemam Nityayukta Upasate. Who meditate on me are superior. Is clear in the answer of Kṛṣṇa also. Further, if you go even further, Geta Sarvani Karmani Mayi Sanyasya Matparaha Ananyena Yogena Mam Dhyayanta Upasate. So the thing is, here, because it is difficult to meditate on the unmanifest form, which is all pervading, right? Immediately, Kṛṣṇa himself in the original says, who meditates on offering all the activities to me, who meditate without having anything else in mind or with any other selfish motive, who meditate on me, Tesham aham samuddattam mrityu samsara sagarat. I will take them out of this mortal universe. Bhavami nachirat partha. I do that very fast. Maya aveshita chetasam, who are completely obsessed in the thought of me. With their minds are totally, they have focused on me completely. They are meditating, worshipping me continuously. Such people, I will help them. I will take them out of this mortal universe and the cycle of births and deaths. Samsara, right? Samsara Sagarat, that is the ocean of this endless cycle of births and deaths. Mayyeva mana adatsva. So he says to Arjuna, oh Arjuna, focus on me. Mayyeva mana adatsva. Focus your mind on me. Mayi buddhim niveshya. Let your intellect be focused on me. Nivasishyasi mayyeva. Then you will stay with me, stay in my thought. Athavurdam na samsheha. There is no doubt about this. So, does the understanding of Śaṅkarācārya match what Kṛṣṇa is saying in the original words of the Bhagavad Gīta? Is the question raised by the Viśiṣṭādvaitis. And this question has been raised by Sri K.S.V. Swami also a long time back in his lectures with me, lectures given to me. And this has also been raised by Vedanta Deshika and Rāmānujācārya, who wrote glosses and commentaries on the Bhagavad Gīta. Now, this is one question asked in the book we are studying now, right? Then the next question comes, the concept of Ekaśāstra. See, Advaita Vedanta does not believe the corpus of the Vedas or has a single purpose and effectiveness. For example, Advaita Vedanta differentiates sharply between the Karmakāṇḍa and Jñānakāṇḍa of the Vedas. So the Vedas, Vedas are four, right? Rig, Yajus, Sama, Atharvana. And among these three, each Veda can be separated into Karmakāṇḍa and Jñānakāṇḍa. And the Karmakāṇḍa are the first, so each Veda has four sections. Okay. Four sections are Saṃhitā, Brāhmaṇa, Āraṇyaka, Upaniṣads. I will explain that in other slides also. I'll just explain the details in other slides. I'm just telling you in advance. So each Veda has four sections: Saṃhitā, Brāhmaṇa, Āraṇyaka, Upaniṣads. Okay. So, Advaita Vedanta says Karmakāṇḍa are the first three. Saṃhitā, Brāhmaṇa, Āraṇyaka belong to the Karmakāṇḍa. And for in a Jnana-kāṇḍa only the Upanishads are there. So, what does the Karmakāṇḍa mean? See, Karmakāṇḍa deals with rituals, sacrifices, karmas aimed at achieving worldly prosperity, Abhyudaya, and heavenly rewards, Swarga. It caters to those who are still attached to worldly desires, whether the desires belong to this world or the next world, next loka. They're all Karmakāṇḍa. Jnana-kāṇḍa deals with knowledge, that is Jnana of Brahman, the self Atman, and their non-duality according to Advaita. That is, this Jiva or Jivatma is same as Parabrahma. Jivatma is same as Brahman. Its purpose is to dispel the ignorance, avidya, and lead to moksha, lead to liberation. That is the purpose of Jnana-kāṇḍa, which is the Upanishadic philosophy, according to Advaita. So, it is not one Shastra. Ekaśāstra means there is only one main Shastra. That is, Vedic philosophy is one. That is not acceptable to Advaita. Karmakāṇḍa is a separate, it has a separate purpose, and Jnana-kāṇḍa has a separate purpose. Maybe Karmakāṇḍa is useful in some way, but the purpose is totally different, and the type of aspirants who can do Karmakāṇḍa are different. The eligibility criteria for Karmakāṇḍa is different. So, the two separate classes of aspirants who can follow, one can follow Karmakāṇḍa, the others can follow only Jnana-kāṇḍa. In fact, the poor persons who follow Jnana-kāṇḍa should not follow the Karmakāṇḍa. This is the idea of Advaita. So, these goals of these two sections are incompatible. They are not compatible with each other. Karmakāṇḍa aims at temporary results. What is the temporary result? Whatever the effects of the actions will go away. So the results are dependent on action, effort, time. These results are also subject to decay. So whatever Karmakāṇḍa says, whether actions here in this world or whether the actions related to yajna or the agni-karyas or something which may guarantee somebody a birth in Indraloka or Chandraloka or some other, supposedly enjoyable place. They are all transient. They will go away, fade away. After a long time, maybe 100 years, 1,000 years, whatever it is, they have to fall. Jnana-kāṇḍa aims at eternal liberation, which is not a result due to be produced. You cannot act and create that result. You have to realize that is the truth. It is realization of one's own nature. So just that realization which is already obscured by ignorance, if you take away the ignorance and realize who you are, you will know you are Brahman. So Jnana-kāṇḍa's whole aim, according to Advaita, is to show you that you are Brahman and nothing else. and Karmakāṇḍa is separate for a separate type of aspirant. It requires different qualifications. Karmakāṇḍa requires attachment to worldly desires and belief in the efficacy of the rituals. That means if I do this Swarga Kamo Yajeta, if I do this sacrifice correctly as prescribed, I will go to Swarga. So that needs a strong belief in that efficacy of the ritual and attachment to achieve that. Oh, I want to go to heaven. I want to look around. I want to enjoy. Jnānakāṇḍa requires detachment from worldly desires. Vairagya, that means absence of desire. Discrimination between what is real and unreal. Viveka. Viveka means this is real, this is unreal. This is eternal, this is non-eternal. And a burning desire for liberation. That means mumukshatva. These three are required. Vairagya, Viveka, mumukshatva. Vairagya is absence of desires. Viveka is understanding what is real and unreal. And mumukshatva is burning desire for liberation. This we have gone through. I am reviewing it only so that everybody can sort of get the idea. Am I boring you with what you know already and making it a big deal? Should I switch and go fast forward? Please answer.
No, you can repeat
Now
it.
you are doing good.
Okay.
Perfect.
Jnana as a sole means to moksha is well accepted in Advaita. Advaita says only by jnana you will get moksha. All this Karmakāṇḍa thing will not get you moksha. And knowledge is direct realization. One shot, like a flash of light. Karma can indirectly contribute to moksha. Why? Because if the karma is done without any desires and offering it to Ishvara, that will purify the mind of the person, making it fit for reception of knowledge. So thing is, what Chitta Shuddhi is purity of mind. Eventually, if you are pure, maybe you will get jnana. But from karma, you will not get jnana. There is a separation between these tracks. These two tracks are separate. Questioning Ekaśāstra. So what Advaita does is, the Veda as one Shastra is not acceptable. The entire Veda forms a single cohesive scripture with a single purpose is not acceptable to Advaita. No unified purpose, right? That means Advaita argued that if the entire Veda were a single Shastra, then it would have to lead to a single consistent result. But since Karmakāṇḍa leads to temporary results, Jnānakāṇḍa leads to permanent result of eternal liberation, absolutely they cannot be together. They cannot both be the part of the same single purposed Shastra. They cannot. This is the idea of Advaita, and definitely started from Śaṅkarācārya's view. Sublation. Advaita uses the principle of badha, sublation or cancellation. Once jnana arises, the entire Karmakāṇḍa becomes irrelevant. It is not for me. I am a jnani. I have nothing to do with karma. If there is once a person becomes jnani, he will think like this. Not me, person. Okay, not me. But a jnani will think that Karmakāṇḍa is irrelevant. The realized person no longer needs rituals or sacrifices. He can give up karma. This shows that Karmakāṇḍa is ultimately sublated by Jnānakāṇḍa. So when the Jnānakāṇḍa or Jnana becomes very clear in the mind of the aspirant, he will forget about Karmakāṇḍa, indicating that they are not the part of a single unified system with a single overarching goal. Very clear. By the way, these words are not even mine. Wonderfully given by Google AI Studio. What is that? aistudio.google.com. I ask some questions, it will give. I verify what it says. Sometimes it doesn't say the right things, but it gives you a very nice set of sentences to be put on PowerPoint. So life has become easier with artificial intelligence. Secondary role for karma. Karma is given a secondary role, only useful purpose for those yet not ready for knowledge. Not everybody is ready for jnana. So they have to go through the karma process, Karmakāṇḍa. It serves to prepare the mind like cleaning a mirror. The mirror will not reflect anything. If mirror is filled with dust, it doesn't reflect at all. You have to take a water hose and spray and take some clothes and clean it up. Then it will reflect. So the mind cannot perceive jnana till the mind is attached. It needs cleaning, thorough cleaning. And the cleaning is not easy, believe me. It's like having a concrete road and you have to tear up the concrete road completely to clean, right? In Adhyātma, okay, this is the one aspect. So what is so far what is said here is Śaṅkarācārya questions Ekaśāstra are one single purposed Vedas, whereas Shadagopa or Nammāḻvār, whose name is him, Shadagopa is a Sanskrit term, Nammāḻvār is a Tamil term, and then Nammāḻvār basically believes in one Shastra. Vedas are one single Shastra with one purpose. And they have their own arguments for it. We'll figure out what those arguments are. And that is directly the belief of Nammāḻvār. And where does the Nammāḻvār takes it from? Nammāḻvār says, I have experienced it. How? And then how did you experience it? Kṛṣṇa has shown the way. I have followed what Kṛṣṇa has said. And I experienced exactly what he said. And because of my experience, I know that the Vedas are one single structure with one purpose. We'll have to see how this will really match up. This is a complex issue. I'm just giving you an introduction here. And so there is a big difference of approach between Advaita and Viśiṣṭādvaita. Now, let's try to understand Śaṅkarācārya's approach in studying the Vedas. In the very beginning of the Brahma Sutras, he gives an introduction known as a Adhyasa Bhāṣya, which is probably like a 10-page introduction. Śaṅkarācārya uses a rational logic and determines the nature of philosophy of superimposition. Say, look, we have a fundamental problem. We ascribe body to Atma. If somebody comes near me, say, don't come near me, don't touch me, kind of thing. Body is not Atma. What is the me? The me is Atma. And me refers to Atma, but when somebody comes close to my body, they, oh, don't come here, don't touch me. What does it mean? We are mistaking body as Atma. And the superimposition is known as Adhyasa. Adhyaso nama atasmin tad buddhihi ityavochama. So what he says is, I'll quickly go through Adhyasa. We have already covered this, just so that you remember this. Whatever is not that, you think that that is that. Atasmin tad buddhihi, that is Adhyasa. Tadyatha putra bharyadishu vikaleshu sakaleshu va ahameva vikalaha sakalaha veti Bhāṣya dharmana atman yadyasyati. So I'm just going to give you a simple meaning. I'm not going to go word to word meaning. We already went through it long time back. He said, look, we are connected to our children and wives and spouses and things like that. And then if they become upset, we become upset. If they have problems, we thought the problem has hit me. So we think that they're all external problems, but we think that they're connected to us, and the problem is happening to me. Tatha dehadharman stūloham krishoham gauroham tishtami gacchami langhayami cha. Even the nature of the body is superimposed on us. We think that I'm fat, I'm weak and thin, I'm white, I'm black, I'm brown, I'm standing, I'm walking, I'm jumping. All these things are body characteristics, but we superimpose those characteristics on the I, tatha indriya dharmana. So then even the dharma, the nature of indriyas. Nature of indriyas means, let me just a second, give me a second. Indriya dharma means the nature, the features of our senses. Mukaha, I cannot speak. Kanaha, klibaha, badiraha, andaha, iti. So we think that I'm deaf, I'm old, I am blind. We are putting some other features as the nature of our Atma. Tata antahkarana, even the inner organs, the features of mind, inner antahkarana means inner senses. The inner senses are mind, ahankara and all those things. Ahankara may not be taken as sense here. Kama sankalpa vichikitsa vyavasaya sayadine, says desires, willpower to determine and say, okay, we will do this. All these things are mind attributes. The nature of mind is, liking, disliking, and things like that. Planning, not planning, laziness. The mind, it is not the nature of I, but it is the nature of mind. But we superimpose the nature of mind on I. Evam prati, evam aham pratyaya yayinam ashesha swaprachara sakshini pratyagatmani adhyastam tamcha pratyagatmanam sarvasakshinam tad viparyena antahkarnati adhyavasyati. We mistake even the pratyagatma or the internal atma also on our body and mind and intellect and things. It's a mutual superimposition. Evam, we superimpose the I on the body also. Evamayam anadir ananto naisargiko adhyasa. This is a natural superimposition from beginningless time. From the day we were born, we are doing this. Mithya pratyaya rupa. This is an error, fundamental error of mistaking one for the other. Kartatva, bhoktatva, pravartakaha. That's what gives us the idea of agency. I am experiencing and things like that. Sarvaloka pratyaksha. This is very common. Asthana asya anartha hetoho prahanaya. This is the cause of all problems in this universe. All problems of bondage, mistakes, despair, fear, sorrow. Everything is because of this fundamental mistaking. And to take away the mistakes, Atmaikatva Vidya Pratipattaye, to understand Atma, knowledge of Atman, Sarve Vedantaha Arambhyante, all the Vedantas, whatever is said in the Bhagavad Gītā, Upaniṣads, Brahma Sutra, and everything, all these Vedantas aim, the one aim is to get rid of this illusion of this universe. Yatha amartaha sarvesham vedantanam. So this is the meaning of the entire Vedantic gamut of scriptures. Tatha vayamasyam charirikam imam sayam pradarshayishyamaham. This knowledge we are going to show you in the Charirika Mimamsa, which is the Brahma Sutras. Vedanta Mimamsa Shastrasya Vyachikyasitasya Idam Adimam Sutram. So then he starts with the first sutra, Athato Brahma Jignasa. This is the introduction, the last portion of the introduction of Śaṅkarācārya's Adhyātma Bhāṣya. Do you all remember that we talked about this long time back? And we have talked about this many, many, many times. Do you remember? Understood? Remember?
Yes, we remember.
Very much. Thank you. Now we go back. Now, what Śaṅkarācārya has done is, the introduction, he is giving a logical, rational analysis and says that this is, we already know this, and the same thing has been repeated in the Vedas. So he gives Vedas a secondary validity, and there was a purpose for it. We discussed it a long time back that he had to face the Buddhists, and he has to introduce it this way. That's a different question. That is the justification of why he did it, right? But the Viśiṣṭādvaitans question, look, first study the Vedas and summarize them. Don't study rational thinking. Don't think about rational issues. Don't make rational decisions, and then try to superimpose the meaning of your rational summaries onto the Vedic Vedas. First try to understand what Vedas are independently, and then say that is the summary of Brahma Sutras. So don't make it a summary of your own experiences or our own experiences. That's not correct. That is the stance of the Viśiṣṭādvaitans, and that is the stance of Shadagopa or Nammāḻvār. So Nammāḻvār, what he thought was, Bhagavad Gītā is the explanatory text of the Upanishadic philosophy. So Nammāڵvār gives more prominence to Kṛṣṇa, as the summarizer of all Upanishads. The way the Bhagavad Gītā summarizes the Upanishads is the ultimate way of the meaning of Upanishads. You have to follow the Bhagavad Gītā and then understand Upanishads, not the other way around. In Advaita, Bhagavad Gītā belongs to the Smriti Prasthana, or the part of Mahabharata, which is Smriti and not Shruti, which is acceptable to everybody. So Advaita tends to lower the value of Bhagavad Gītā. That is a separate Prasthana. Even though they try to say that all these Prasthanas are same, it is saying the same philosophy. Every Acharya is trying to say that the philosophy of Gita is same as the philosophy of all these three, all the other two, right? But what Nammāḻvār is saying, that give prominence to Bhagavad Gita and follow that properly, and analyze and explain other Upanishads and everything as per the guidelines given in the Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavad Gita does not separate it into Karmakāṇḍa and Jñānakāṇḍa. And the philosophy of Upanishads should also have the philosophy of Saṃhitā and Brāhmaṇa portions, including the Āraṇyakas. So Upanishadic philosophy should not be taken as a separate Jñānakāṇḍa. It says it has got the fundamental ideas in both portions. So there is a unique one-purposed Vedas, and they may be separate chapters, but it is one purpose. Now let's take this here more seriously. What does Saṃhitā mean? It has collection of hymns, prayers, mantras, and benedictions addressed to various deities. Purpose used to chant in rituals, sacrifices, and personal devotion. It has poetic, metrical, and symbolic meanings. So in Rigveda Saṃhitā, Dr. Anantangacharya has written a Kannada book called the Rigveda Samputa Ratna, or something like that. Recently, I was talking to Narasimhan, his son. He's saying that every verse of Rigveda or Vedas has three meanings: Adhyātma meaning, Adhidaiva meaning, and Adhibhūta meaning. Adhibhūta is related to this beings and matter and everything like that. Adhibhūta is also with respect to the Panchabhutas, that is fire, Prithvi, Ap, Tejo, Vayu, Akasha, fire, water, and also on. And the five fundamental elements. Adhidaiva means that related to the Devatas, the subordinate Devatas who are controlled by one Ishvara. And Adhyātma is purely Atma related, beyond all Devata conception. It is Atma, that is Atma Paramatma related, spirit related, right? So the thing is, three meanings are there for every sentence of Rigveda, or every sentence of the Vedas. Adhyātma interpretation, Adhidaiva interpretation, and the Adhibhūta interpretations. So we have to say that even in the Rigveda, that is why you need to study that book called Rigveda, two books written by Dr. Anantangacharya, Rigveda Samputa Ratna and Samskrita Veda Sahitya Charitre or something, the red book. Beautiful book, which gives philosophical Upanishadic style meaning to the original Vedas itself. Okay. Now, Brahmanas, we said Saṃhitā is this one, right? Saṃhitā afterwards comes Brahmanas. It has prose texts. So that explain meaning, performance, significance of rituals, sacrifices. Some more meaning is there here. So what was described in the Saṃhitas, it gives a little bit more details. They also contain myths and legends, etymological explanations and all. So the purpose is to guide the priests in the proper conduct of the rituals and provide them theological and philosophical justifications for them. Right? So they're explanatory and prescriptive, how and why of the Vedic rituals. That's in the Brahmana section. And in the Aranyakas are the forest text. Aranya means forest. Aranyakas are forest texts. Okay. The forest texts are generally for the older mature people who have probably spent about 50 years in regular life. The husband and wife retire to the forest and they call it as Vanaprastha Ashrama, and they think about some deeper issues. They serve the bridge as the bridge between the Brahmanas and the Upanishads, like the bridge between the Brahmana, and they contain the interpretations of the rituals, symbolic explanations, philosophical discussions, and contemplation. So it has got a lot of contemplative value and content. What is the purpose? To give more internalized symbolic understanding of Vedic rituals. Why are you doing it? What is the purpose and things like that? Moving away from the strictly external performance emphasized in the Brahmanas. So it has a mix of ritualistic and philosophical content, and often dealing with esoteric knowledge and symbolic interpretations of sacrifices. There are also philosophical portions of the Brahmanas. That is, there are philosophical portions of Brahmanas explained a little bit more ritually oriented than in the Upanishads. In the Upanishads, rituals are not dealt with. In the Aranyakas, there may be a mix of rituals and philosophical content. Hope this is clear. Upanishad, on the other hand, is purely philosophical. Okay? Purely philosophical. That explore the nature of reality, the self, Brahman, the relationship between Brahman, self, and this reality and the universe. The purpose is to impart knowledge and leads to liberation or moksha, that is to dispel ignorance. So the character of the subject topic is primarily philosophical, dealing with abstract concepts, introspection, and search for the ultimate truth. They focus on realization, self-realization, nature of Brahman, and moving away from ritualistic prescriptions. They're often presented in the form of dialogues between teachers and students. That is the content of the Upanishads, which we sort of already know. So the Karmakāṇḍa is the first three portions, Saṃhitā, Brāhmaṇa, and Āraṇyaka. Jñānakāṇḍa includes only the last portion, Upanishads. According to Nammāḻvār, Bhagavad Gītā gives the explanation of both the Saṃhitā, Brāhmaṇa, Upanishadic philosophy, including Āraṇyakas too. He has experienced the methods given by Kṛṣṇa step by step and explained his realizations. So will other people too will say that too, right? Advaitis, Dvaitis. They will say, oh, our Acharyas also explained, experienced everything. But the vividness and depth in which Nammāḻvār has explained his experiences is unmistakably powerful. Such a literary and experiential work is unmatched in history. If anyone studies the 1,102 verses of Nammāḻvār's Thiruvalmozhi, people will know. It will take a separate life, separate study to understand this, and that is known as Bhagavad Vishayam, according to Viśiṣṭādvaita philosophy. Viśiṣṭādvaita philosophy was established on Ubhaya Vedanta. Both the Āḻvāras experiences, independent experiences of the Āḻvāras, and the experience of the rishis, which are condensed in the Vedas. These two are both made use of to understand philosophy in the Viśiṣṭādvaita methodology. And we directly the followers directly rely on Nammāḻvār's experience, what he understood as the guidance given by Kṛṣṇa from within. With this, I've covered today's topic. I'm stopping share. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask. So far, so I'm actually building on the introduction given by Sampath Iyengar to Kena Upaniṣad. How will he deal with Kena Upaniṣad? Unfortunately, I might have to explain to you some of the portions of Ishavasya Upanishad, And some students of mine here have already gone through Ishavasya Upanishad through Hindu University of America. They might know better, they might remember that better. But I will try to simplify and give you a little bit overview of Ishavasya Upanishad, because Sampadanga has clearly said, unless you know Ishavasya Upanishad, you cannot understand the structure and connectivity and sequence of thoughts in the Kena Upaniṣad. And right now, in about 4 or 5 lectures, I will summarize the entire overview of Kena Upaniṣad according to Sampatanga's view. Okay, and that has a lot of yogic stuff. And this yogic understanding is very critical. When I grew up, I understood Bhagavad Gītā only in that as a Yoga Shastra. It is both a Brahma-vidyā and Yoga Shastra, but the Yoga Shastra was very, very highly stressed when I studied Bhagavad Gītā. Okay, what is the question?
Yeah, my question is, when you talk about Yoga Shastra, are you talking about Yoga Asanas, or it is a Yoga Shastra as Yoga Shastra?
It is not Yoga Asanas. It is Yoga Shastra.
Okay.
The yoga asanas are not highlighted in the Bhagavad Gītā. The yoga asanas are highlighted in the Hatha Yoga Pradipika and other yoga texts, and that is not the subject here. The Yoga Shastra could probably include portions of Yoga Sutras. As you know, Vedanta Deshika quotes from the Yoga Sutras right in the Sthita Prajna portion of the Bhagavad Gītā, right? So Yoga Sutras are assumed to be a part of Yoga Shastra, and that's what it is. I think I have answered your question.
Yeah, thank you. Because after years of I have been learning the Bihar school of yoga. After years of learning, I find that there is a lot of connect between the yoga asanas and many of our spiritual seeking. So that is why I asked you.
There is a connection, no doubt about it.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other question?
Yeah, I have a question. You mentioned about the 12th chapter, first verse, and then the second verse, right?
Yes.
Yeah. On that, I know, Arjuna is asking, which form of meditation is good? And then in the second verse, Kṛṣṇa is saying the second way of meditating on the formless manifest is good, right?
No. The answer of, I hope I heard you properly. Kṛṣṇa answered that meditation on the form is superior.
Oh, is it? Oh.
Kṛṣṇa directly answers. Meditation on the form is superior. See, Śaṅkarācārya on the other hand, says that the meditation on the unmanifest, all-pervading kind of a form is not even considered in the second chapter, 12th chapter. He says that is not the topic of 12th chapter. That was already determined earlier that is the highest. Now, if you leave those jnanis away, among the ajnanis, who is better? Among the ajnanis, the worshipper of Kṛṣṇa is better. Kṛṣṇa's form is better. He takes it in a different way.
Oh, okay. So the discussion is not about the jnanis. It is about us, actually. It is about
that is according to Śaṅkarācārya.
Okay.
Not according to others, because the question of Arjuna is actually comparison between Akṣara, immutable, all-pervading, and the other one is what do you call the form, Vishwarupa form, which was immediately told in the 11th chapter.
Yeah.
So what the others are questioning is you are misunderstanding Kṛṣṇa's words in 12th chapter, Mr. Advaitin.
Okay.
So Advaita view is wrong according to Viśiṣṭādvaita. What they say is Kṛṣṇa himself has said that among the two methods of worship, the worshipper of the form is superior.
Okay. Yeah, that's the question itself, I have not clearly understood. So that's why I wanted to...
in fact, in the 8th verse, 12:8, it clearly said, Mayyeva mana dasva mayi buddhim niveshaya. That means keep your mind focused on me. When Kṛṣṇa is saying, obviously he's talking about the form.
Okay. Okay.
So what there, the attack from the Viśiṣṭādvaita is quite powerful. And then what do you call, what they are saying is Advaita knows, Śaṅkaracārya knows about it, but he dilly-dallies and he tries to avoid the question.
Okay. Okay.
And he said that is not a sincere understanding of the words, the text of the Bhagavad Gītā. Don't superimpose your rational thinking on this. Everything is superimposed. I superimpose from Atman, by Atman I superimpose everything. That's the rational kind of approach, and you're force-fitting the rational approach on the 12th chapter. Don't do that. That is the Viśiṣṭādvaita way of questioning.
Okay. I'm with you now. Yeah. Thank
Koileji,
you.
what did you say? Did you ask a question? I found or was it a text? I'm not sure. What was it? Let me see the text here. I have heard the Bhagavad Gītā is called Moksha Shastra because the ultimate goal of karma, yoga, bhakti yoga, and jnana yoga is moksha from samsara. Yes, that is true. That is true. See, this is not perfectly acceptable to Advaitins. They will accept in a different way. Karma leads to jnana, and through jnana you will get moksha. Karma leads to jnana, and from jnana you will get moksha. That is acceptable to Advaita. But they don't understand they don't agree with the connectivity, strong connectivity between karma and bhakti and jnana. Karma yoga, bhakti yoga, and jnana yoga, they are all highly integrally connected, and that is the view of Viśiṣṭādvaita. That's not acceptable to the Advaitis.
I think in that 12th chapter only, even there in one verse, Kṛṣṇa stresses that those who are worship of Akṣara, they will reach me only.
True.
So how will Śaṅkara interpret it then? Because he is directly told, even they will reach me only. He stresses that point.
See, there's an interesting thing. I can see, look at Śaṅkara Bhāṣya for that. That's an interesting thing. Let me, hold on a second. Let me share with you something here. 1 second, hold on. I'm going to share the Śaṅkara Bhāṣya here. Can you see?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to read it. This is the verse. Sanyam yendriya gramam sarvatra samabhuddhayaha te prapnuvanti mameva sarvabhute hiterataha. Sarvabhute hiterataha. Sanyam yendriya gramam means controlling the senses. Sarvatra samabhuddhayaha with equanimity everywhere. Te prapnuvanti mameva, they will attain me only. Sarvabhute hiterataha, those who are well-wishers of everyone. Okay. Now, look at Śaṅkara Bhāṣya. Saniyamya, samyak niyamya, controlling, upasamhritya indriya gramam, indriya samudayam, sarvatra sarvasmin kale samabhuddhayaha, that means withdrawing the senses from the sense objects. Sarvatra sarvasmin kale samabhuddhayaha, being, having equanimity at all times. Samatulya buddhi esham, ishta anishta prapto te samabhuddhayaha. Whether they are in trouble or whether they are happy, whether they have good things happening to them or bad things happening to them, without caring, they have equanimity in dealing with them. Te ye evam vidaha te prapnuvanti mameva, they will attain me only. Sarvabhuta hiterataha. That means natu tesham vaktavyam kinchit mam te prapnuvanti iti jnani tu atmaiva me matam. So I don't have to say anything. Jnani is Atma only. Jnani is myself. In the Bhagavad Gītā 7:18, Jnani to Atma me matam, he takes it literally. saying that Jnani is same as me. Itihi uktam nahi bhagavat swarupanam satam yuktam yuktatamatvam ayuktatamatvam va vachyam. Look at this, what he says. If you are already Bhagavan, if you are the same as Krishna, if you are the same as Bhagavan, why talk about who is superior, who is inferior? Kintu, read it the next way. Kintu kleshaha adhikatarha yadyapi matkarmadi paranam kleshaha adhika eva kleshaha adhikat. So even people who do worship of Krishna is also difficult. It's not easy. You have to go to the temple, you have to buy things, you have to do every day, you have to be dedicated and all those things. Adhikatarastu Akṣara-Upāsanā. But those who are focused on the immutable, they have a higher problem. Śaṅkara agrees with that it is difficult. Paramatma darshinam, they have imana parityaga nimittaha, because you have to give up the sense of yourness, my body, my indriyas, my happiness, all these things you have to give up, and that's very tough to give up. Avyakta asakta chetasam, avyakte asaktam chetaha yeshamte. They are attached to the unmanifest. Avyakta asakta chetasaha tesham, avyakta asakta chetasam, avyakta hi asmat yagatihi, aksharatmika dukkham sa dehavatbihi. So those who have the attachment to the body, the atma abhimanavadbihi, we have the obvious attachment to body, right? That is fundamental. If somebody throws a stone at us, we will avoid the stone. Why? We want to protect our body, because we think we are the body. So such people, it is very difficult for them to give up body consciousness. Attachment to body is very difficult for people like that. Akṣara-Upāsakanam yat vartanam tad Upanishad vakshyamaha. He will go further like that. So Śaṅkarācārya has a way to understand things very easily. He will go around and he says that, look, I and Kṛṣṇa, and that there is no separation between Saguna and Nirguna for him. At certain points, if you go worship Saguna, you will get to Nirguna anyway. Nirguna is the highest. So he can weave around. Sanskrit is flexible.
Yes, that is true. But as you said, Sampath has told, it is questionable because Krishna is very direct here.
Correct. Exactly. Kṛṣṇa is very direct here. So, in fact, what he says is, this is the. So, finally, how does Kṛṣṇa conclude? In 12.7, 12.8, 12.8 he says, Mai eva mana adasva. So, focus on me. Mai buddhim niveshaya. Nivasasya mai eva atavurdhanam samshaya. Śaṅkarācārya, what does he say? Mai eva vishwarupe ishvare. So, in me, on the Vishwarupa form, focus on the Vishwarupa form. Sankalpa vikalpatmakam adhatsva stapayam. So focus your mind, giving up all the ups and downs and wavering mind and everything, you stop and focus on my Vishwarupa. Mai evam adhyavasayam kurvatim buddhim adhatsva ariveshaya. So make your intelligence focus on me. Tatahate kim syat iti shruno nivasisyasi nivatsyasi nishchayena madatmana mai nivasam karishyasi. Eva ataha sharira patat urdhvam. So even after death, you will attain me. Na samshaya atrana kartavya. Don't worry, don't have any doubts. So after death, what will happen to me? Don't worry about it. Focus on me while you are alive. Focus on my universal cosmic form, Vishwarupa. Once you start focus on that, that will continue. So this is how Śaṅkarācārya says he accepts Upāsanā. He accepts this kind of Upāsanā. He accepts Nirguna Upāsanā in a separate way. So one can do even Nirguna Upāsanā. That is, see, we have to go to the very, very beginning introduction of this. Śaṅkarācārya is very brilliant in giving his introductions. Okay, he will directly go into introductions, and I'll show that to you. I hope this is the last verse of 11th chapter. The next verse is, he goes, he totally changes the subject, right? If you want, I will read the entire verse for you, as this is the introduction given by Śaṅkarācārya. Evam iti atita anantarasho kena uktam artham paramrashati matkarma krityadina. That is the last verse. Evam satata yuktaha nairantaryena bhagavad karmado yathokte arte samahitaha santaha pravrittaha. Those who focus on me and do all the works also related me to with worship related works. Ye bhaktaha ananya sharanaha. They will not surrender to anybody else but me. Tvam yatha darshitam vishwarupam paryupasate. They worship this Vishwarupa, what was shown to you, O Arjuna. They meditate on that Vishwarupa. Eche anyepi chakta sarveshanaha sanyasta sarvakarmanaha yatha visheshitam brahmaksharam nirasta sarvopadhitvat abhyaktam akarana gocharam yat hi karna gocharam tadvyaktam uchyate. So thing is, he says that on the other hand, there are other people who worship not the Vishwarupa but all pervading form. Nirasta sarvopadhitvat, which is disconnected from all adjuncts or upadhis, unconnected with this universe. Akarna gocharam, which is not directly realizable through our senses. So dechapi prayupata, whoever worship that, tesham ubhayesham madhye ke yoga vittamaha, who is better than among these two? Ityartaha, that is the question. Bhagavan vacha, ye to Akṣara-Upāsakaha. So those who worship the Akṣara-Upāsaka, samyak darshinaha, they see the truth. Nivartaishanaha, they have no desires whatsoever. Tetavat tishtantu, keep that aside. Let that be, don't consider them. Tan prati yat vaktavyam tad Upaniṣad vakshama. I will talk about them later. Ye to itare, among the others, Bhagavan vacha, among the others, this question refers to among the others. This seems very awkward. He understands the questions properly, but he doesn't believe in it. He says that that is not even considered when Kṛṣṇa answers. Kṛṣṇa is a very brilliant man. He ignores the question of Arjuna and takes it differently. That is the view of Śaṅkara. And this is questioned heavily by other authors, including Viśiṣṭādvaita system people. Do you understand? Any question regarding the Śaṅkara Bhāṣya and the introduction to 12th chapter? Any question?
Just one question regarding the place of bhakti in Śaṅkara's philosophy by S.S. Raghavacharya, where he mentions that bhakti is a part of jnana, like bhakti is embedded in jnana.
Correct. Bhakti is embedded in dhyana, and that you cannot separate. That's what S.S. Raghavacharya has mentioned. Yes, you're right.
I think that is mentioned even by Bhagavan in Amanitvam Adambitvam. In that he has mentioned bhakti also as part of jnana.
Yeah. In fact, one day I'm going to highlight what S.S. Raghavacharya has said. That's an amazing book, by the way. The paper I sent you a long time back, the place of bhakti in Śaṅkara Bhāṣya and Gita. It's an excellent paper. So here, he separates out the question, as you see, and this is questioned by anybody like in Viśiṣṭādvaita people question it, that's all. Why don't you take the direct meaning of the question answers of Arjuna and Kṛṣṇa? Ye to Akṣara-Upāsaka samyak darshana nirvata te tavat tishtantu. You leave that aside. Did Kṛṣṇa really say he leave it aside? Why are you pushing some information into the mouth of Kṛṣṇa? That is the question asked by Viśiṣṭādvaitans to Śaṅkara Bhāṣya. Here, Kṛṣṇa didn't separate out, oh, leave it. He didn't say, oh, leave it out the Akṣara-Upāsaka, delete them. He never said that. In fact, he says something different. This is what the question is. Do you all understand the logic of approach of attack on Śaṅkara Bhāṣya from the Viśiṣṭādvaita perspective? Do you understand?
Yes, after you have explained it, yeah.
Okay. It will settle. You need to go study something also. Do some homework. It will be very clear for you. I'm sure if you ask some Advaitis, they will come up with some kind of an answer. And I'm always asking my friend V. Subramanian and other people, how will they think about it and all those things, right? And I'm sure when we go into, we have not even studied 12th chapter yet, right? We are in 5th chapter roughly. After finishing Madhu-bhāṣya, we'll come only to 5th chapter. And later on 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 11th, we have a long way to go before we seriously take up the study of this this particular verse. We are just giving a preview, advanced preview, trailer. All right, any questions today? I'll stop here because it's already more than 1 hour, 20 minutes now. So we'll stop here and we'll pick up next time, okay? Unless there is any burning question now. I guess okay. Asmat Gurupyo Namaha, Asmat Parama Gurupyo Namaha, Asmat Sarva Gurupyo Namaha, Shri Kṛṣṇa Parabrahmane Namaha, Shri Lakshmi Narasimha Parabrahmane Namaha, Shri Lakshmi Hayavadana Parabrahmane Namaha, Shri Lakshmi Sarvam Shri Kṛṣṇa.
Namaskar.
Namaskaram.
Namaste.
Namaskaram. Thank you.
Namaste. Namaste to everyone.